Hi, everybody. It's October 22nd, 2025. Um, Somebody once said uh, that we never want to, it's a common cliche by now, but they used to say we never want to be where we're at. We always want to be somewhere else. And to a degree, that's true for everybody. But the points in life where we are where we want to be is a headspace um, of not just gratitude but awareness. It's being aware that you are fortunate, and so many things pull us away from this conclusion that we are fortunate because we are so bombarded with immense riches. We're bombarded with uh, tall dreams that people are living that we see on our screens. With um, we are bombarded with limitless information about the bounds of the universe and the limits of wealth and the fantasies of immortality. So this draws us out of the moment where we should be aware that we are in a space that is good and that's plentiful, almost as much, or if not more, than what we see on our screens. And so this calls to my attention the importance of being able to initiate shifts in your life. Because, say for instance, you're frustrated and you've gotten to the point where you can no longer blame anybody else. You know that it's probably on you why you are frustrated. You may not be doing something right. You may not have enough knowledge. You may feel weak. You may be exhausted. You may be under a deluge of anxiety. So what I've learned about initiating shifts is the first thing you have to do is you have to accept where you're at. Because if you don't accept where you're at, then you can't understand what next steps to take. If you don't understand where you're at and why you're at, and maybe why you don't have to know the definitive answer, but if you could guess at why you're at the stage you are at or the state you are in, if you could figure that out, that kind of clears things up in your head. It clears out extraneous fog and confusion. So first is assessing where you are at and why you want to be out of there. And for the shift to keep on going forward, you have to acquire the right kind of energy, because you may think you have to hurry up and be intense and extreme and hurry up and get away, but that rushing is going to befuddle you. It's going to trip you up many times, because as you're rushing, you're not catching the details of the direction you need to go. While you're rushing, you're driving up your anxiety and your frustration. So you need to assess where you are at and why you're there, and you need to start going, but you need to be careful. You need to be aware and observant of your situation, and just keep on going, leaving that situation behind that you are in, to initiate the shift of awareness. It's just moving along and creating motion, creating little results by little results. And so once you get that down, once you get the confirmation that you are affecting your life in a substantial enough way, that's where the initiation of shifts starts to begin. And so once it starts taking up a little bit, the direction is really up to you, because you may want to dive into a new interest. You may want to dive into new resources, but from the outer, they may not be there. You may be on a precipice with nowhere else to go, it seems. So at this point, once things start to get results and nothing happens or you don't know where to go, it's good to be patient and keep your eyes open. And sometimes it's good to just jump and just have faith in where you're going to land, because those that have faith while they're falling will always have a parachute. Those who worry while they're falling, they might not hit the ground fast. They may still get a parachute, But that anxiety on the way down to their next landing is going to be very stressful. It's going to be disorienting. It's going to be kind of dark. So if you jump and you know you're going to land somewhere where God wants you to go, that's your parachute. You're letting go of the anxiety of the unknown. Is going to be your parachute, and you're going to land to where you need to be. And that's how you initiate a shift, because this is just about initiating the shift in your spiritual energy. It's not about accomplishing the goal. It's just a shift to taking your attention away from the suffering, the blinding suffering that's keeping you in one spot. So initiating shifts could start that way. And sometimes you really have to get, so to say, brutal. Sometimes you're going to be so confined, it's going to feel like you're in a straitjacket. Sometimes to initiate the shift, you just have to get savage. You know, to break out of that ice, you just have to get savage and just break the chains that are holding you and just leave, and then something else will come. But that's, of course, that's a metaphor, you know. But in a quite literal sense, that may look like moving out of a uncomfortable environment. That may be your home, that may be your job, or that may be a relationship with a toxic person. It's just leaving and not knowing where you're going to end up. I know that seems hard with the way things are nowadays, but just leaving and taking on the hard feelings of cutting something off that's been your life for so long, or been inside your being deeply, just cutting it off and just being brutal and just walking away. And sometimes that's the only way to initiate a shift in your thinking, because our relationships with other people sometimes they link us together, and this link sometimes weighs you down from becoming the next version of yourself that you need to be. And that's because you are linked with this person spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and you don't know who you are without this person or this situation or this environment, because that's almost like a blind person who's been blind their entire life. They don't know, they have a full life, they live, but they don't know what seeing actually, the experience of seeing actually is, because they've always been blind. So when you are in this type of situation with a person that is causing stagnation or agony or any negative sensation, you don't know what life is like without that, because you've been living that way with them, and their influence over you covers your sight. So sometimes you just have to get brutal and break away and go. So initiating shifts, to conceptualize the whole concept, initiating shifts comes with breaking the norm that has set in and shaking it off and looking around quickly enough to find the truth in the situation, to allow you to start thinking in a different and more free way. So I hope this helps. Thanks.